I'm Asiullah Bangrawala and I shall be your host. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our honorable guest, Shri S. Chandrasekharan, on the stage. We welcome you, sir. Now I would like to request our speakers, Mr. Kevin Murphy from United States of America, Mr. Wilson Pinheiro Jabbour from Brazil, Mr. Padmin Buch from India, and Dr. David Ho from United States of America to take their respective seats on the stage. Now I would like to request Mr. Kunal Dalsania to present flowers to Mr. Kevin Murphy. I would like to invite Mr. Ketan Bhatt to present flowers to Mr. Wilson Pinheiro Jabbour. Thank you very much. To welcome Mr. Padmin Buch, may I request Ms. Kinjal Shah to greet him with a bouquet of flowers. To welcome Dr. David Ho, may I request Ms. Sejal Shah to greet him with a bouquet of flowers. Thank you very much. To welcome Shri S. Chandrasekharan, may I request Mr. Shoaib Masoodi to greet him with a bouquet of flowers. Now I would like to invite our next speaker for the session, Dr. David K. Ho from United States of America. He received his Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry and Biology at Indiana University, his Doctor of Philosophy in Medicinal Chemistry at Purdue University, and his Doctor of Jurisprudence at American University. He is admitted to the state of Maryland as attorney and is registered as patent attorney before U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. As partner of Harvest IP Law LLP in Washington, D.C., Dr. Ho handles the different stages of patent application process and focuses on technologies related to chemistry, biotechnology, material sciences, and consumer products. To speak on the topic of global trends and opportunities in patent protection, may I please welcome Dr. Ho to come forward.
Thank you so much for this opportunity for me to visit India.
Wow.
This is my first time. Dr. Acharya, thank you so much. It's my personal joy to meet him in November. I have a choice of November, Thanksgiving Day, or the day before Thanksgiving. You know, Thanksgiving is a turkey day in America. So I said, I'll have a big party in my house, 40, 45 people in my house on Thursday. So I chose to meet with him. And right away, we felt that we were just old friends right away. And Ahmedabad is a new city for me. But last night, before this conference, I met an old friend from Purdue University. The gentleman came back from USA to establish his chemical industry, Dr. Patel. By talking with him, I absorbed so much. I felt like this is a special city for me. So I'm honored. As introduction has already mentioned, I'm from Hong Kong. I never crossed the border to China. My first foreign country was USA. I was supposed to be a student. Then I got my PhD. I was supposed to be a researcher. I have no business about the law, but it's a funny thing. I have a little invention. Because of that, I became interested in the patent law. So I went to law school. So by the time I got my JD, it was about 20 years after my PhD. So I must be crazy. And I want to share with you, this is a newfound love of this profession, and there's no way to top the smart man. I want to challenged him because I noticed that his cell phone is not an Apple yet. I want to invite him to jump boat to my iPhone territory. Just joking aside. Today I will talk about two major topics: the global trend and the global opportunity for us practitioners, especially patent protection. So what are the global trends? I'm going to show you with some numbers, not to overwhelm you, but to let you see many opportunities are there in front of each one of us. So most of you are from this area. I want to encourage you to latch on. On the slides, you have more insights than I do. We're all equal. I want you to learn, be smarter than me, okay? All right? So, first step of this global trend, we want to take advantage of the system. We all know that there's a WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, provides a PCT platform that we can file one PCT application as a receiving office. India is one of them, China, and all this. Not Taiwan. You have been to Taiwan. I'll talk more about Taiwan. You'll be intrigued completely about my Taiwan. Then file multiple national face application. It's that simple. So the several numbers, 0, 12, 18, and 30. What are these numbers? 0 is the get-go, at the beginning. You file the first invention. A 12-month PCT application. We all know that. Watch out for the due date. 18 months after that, 18 months is a publication. And 18 months from here, the 30th month is national phase. Of course, we have to watch out for the 31st month jurisdiction. And 32nd month, such as China, you pay an extra fee, you can enjoy an extra room before you file. So these are the things. Now, what does it mean? I want to watch out. If you have filed an application, but if you want to do business in Taiwan, but you forgot about the fact that Taiwan is not one of the PCT countries, like Argentina, then you missed the duty. You missed everything. That's all. So you have to watch out. I'm not saying that you must file Taiwan. I'm not getting into any discussion politically. I'm just sharing with you my insights. So these are the things that we all have to watch out and remind each other. So we all know that PCT application has been increasing step by step. 7.3% from 2015 to 2016. What does it mean? Approximately 233,000 of PCT applications have been filed. This is the international phase. So what are the countries? The top countries entering into PCT application are USA, Japan, China, Germany, and Korea. So if you sum up the first top 3 of them, it's like 60%. What about the rest of the country? Lots of opportunity. Don't let go. We need to recognize this trend, but there's still many opportunities for the rest of us. So now notice this order: USA, Japan, China, Germany, and Korea. So China appears to be growing very fast. If you look at the business applicants of this, these are the current trend of PCT. All the numbers are public domain. This is 2016 numbers. With respect to the business applicants, ZTE of China in Shenzhen, Huawei of China in Shenzhen again, they're the top filers. 7,000, almost 8,000 applicants, PCT applications. Qualcomm US is the highest from USA, Japan, Mitsubishi, LG Korea, Hewlett Packard USA, Intel USA, BOE Technology China. So China, we are observing a very unusual phenomenon. High filers. Part of the reason, from what I understand, is there's a government subsidy. The government wants to encourage them. Please, if you file an application, you get some subsidy. So people say, okay, I want to file more. Both locally, PCT. Now the rules have changed. Now the rules, by filing an application, doesn't get you the subsidy. you have to get the invention allowed. So now the government is raising the bar. In other words, China has been traditionally starting from ground zero about 25 years ago. They have very unusual, almost government-organized opportunity for telecommunication. And I visited this telecommunication infrastructure, a national infrastructure, to understand them and to befriend them for 5-6 years now. China has encouraged this, so by getting a lot of infrastructure to help the applicants, large operation, mid-size, and even small inventors. So there are many platforms the government is stepping in to help the people. All right, so let's look further. What about university applicants? So these are the top universities filing PCT applications. California, UC Berkeley system, MIT, somebody mentioned MIT already, Harvard, Johns Hopkins, that is Baltimore, Maryland, is about 1 hour from my home. Texas, Austin, Seoul, Korea, Tokyo, Japan, Stanford, USA, and Hanyang, Korea. So notice that the numbers are basically 10% of the big industrial giants. So there's still a lot of, these are a lot of numbers. Do not forget about that. Now, let's continue. What about the technological areas? So this is a slide to show us what areas of research, inventions. Clearly, the digital communication, 17,000 of them. So those who study electrical engineering, congratulations, you have lots of work. Work harder. Computer technology, electrical machinery, apparatus, energy. But wait, the biotech people, we're still in business. Look at medical technology, all right? Pharmaceuticals. So there's still a lot of applications going through the door at PCT. Of course, transportation, automobiles, audiovisual technology. So this is the top technological areas under which PCT application has been filed, all right? So we have a glimpse of the top countries, the top universities, the top technological field. So we are watching these numbers. We want to get something out of this in a meaningful way this afternoon. All right. So these are the top 5 national face countries. Notice that I'm jumping. The previous slides talk about the PCT application, the international phase. I'm jumping. So another 18 months have gone by. I'm jumping to the national phase window. Take a look. Who are the 5? USA, Japan, Germany, France, China, and other countries. I know that this is a very condensed slide. So I make a provision for the same slide, but a little bigger. Let's see if it's helpful. All right, so slightly more helpful. USA, these are the national phase original going to office. USA to USA. Japan, Germany, France, China, and other places. Notice China was number 3, right? But in terms of national phase, they're less. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just telling you, sharing with you, catching attention so that you understand. Oh, look at this. What about the receiving offices? USA is a top dog, still the top country. Europe. Wow, China is the 3rd one. Japan, Korea, Canada, India. This country, our country here. Although it's not the top 5, it is the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, top 10 receiving countries. So in other words, can we get into this traffic jam? When there's a traffic jam, sometimes we don't like it. But this traffic jam is good. That means we're in business. We want to get into this. In other words, for a practitioner like myself from USA, I want to know who else are coming to USA. from Japan, from Germany, from France, China, other nations. I still have a lot. I still have a lot from, in other words, my focus should not only on these top national face countries. I should also look into this. For the Indian practitioner, my fellow practitioners from India, you have a lot from USA, from other places. Very important. Can we increase this? Can you tell the people? Don't let people have a preconceived notion about your country. Promote your industry, electrical, chemical, medical. Come to India. Several years ago, I worked with a top technological company at the Dow Jones stock level. It's not my client, my boss's client. I asked this gentleman, he's from Japan, with a PhD from Caltech, smart guy. I did not know that, so I worked with a very smart client. I asked him, where do you file? Of course, he's US citizen, USA. He filed in China, and he told me, this is new material for engines. Very smart material. He said, India is his largest customer. Indians buy the material for real use. The Chinese only infringe his inventions. So I was completely overwhelmed by this little piece of information. So India is very important. You have that need. You have a huge population. Can you increase the interest? Please come into India. We have this system. Promote. This is not a regular law firm billable areas. So if you run your law firm regularly, you'll have a headache. I don't want to deal with this. This is promotion. So have your staff members to promote in such a way that India is very important. I know it is important. So you have to do even more. Last week I was in Taiwan. Some of my clients in America, they are mainland Chinese nationals, originally from China. They never considered Taiwan. So when I visited these two law firms in Taiwan, top law firm, I asked them, could you help me? Could you share with me why my clients should consider Taiwan? So similarly, a few months ago, I asked my South American colleagues that I have befriended, I said, show me why my clients should file in South America as a group. Please, anywhere, Brazil included. So coming back to my major point, it is up to you to attract this attention. It's up to you. Together, government is great, but the citizens, the regular people is very important. That's what I learned as a US citizen. The regular people, that's the creativity. Not just the government. Yes, we need to work with the government. So please, folks, although you're practicing law somewhere along the line, you have to do something extra to attract that attention, to be part of this. All right? Let me continue. Then in the WIPO report, it is a different category, which is the top 5 national face for middle income countries. India is the number 1 of this group. India, Russian Federation, Brazil, South Africa, Turkey. National face origin, national face receiving. Look at all the Indian inventions. Where do they go? Almost 1/2 go to USA. Fine, the more the better. But you have a diversity. You're going to other places, Europe, China. So you have to befriend these countries and ask them, show me more reason to file in those countries. So this is the point of origin of the national face. This is a point of destination of the national face. India, look at that. If this is true, only a fraction goes back to India, PCT. I do not know the reason. I'm not saying right or wrong. So these are the numbers that should inspire us. This is a traffic jam. Many, it's almost like a neural pathway. Many connections. Let's get to it. Let's get into this. Let's help each other. Don't just think of India. Think beyond India. Get the attention. Get the friendship going, all right? Now, so this is the expanded version of the slide. India, Russian Federation, Brazil, South Africa, and Turkey, all right? Again, I want to emphasize, as a point of origin of the national face application, almost at least 40% goes to USA. So this is the pathway. So make sure that these countries give you the reason why you need to file it to them. In other words, not just instead of just writing or typing, filing electronically, have the meaning, have the wherewithal to direct the traffic for your clients in India. Most of the clients will be in India, all right? Let's go, continue. Now, I'm making another jump. These are data for the issued US patents as of 2015. This is the latest year. I would love to have a 2017. It's not available to me, all right? So this is public domain data again. Very confusing. There are literally 50 or 70 tables. You get lost. I get lost myself. But no matter if you're patient and click, and then, oh, this is the data. So what am I trying to show you? These are countries having successfully received and issued USA patent, all right? So who are the biggest filers? USA successfully entered into, all right? Japan, South Korea, Germany, Taiwan, then China, France, Canada, United Kingdom, Netherlands, and somewhere below is India at this point, all right? Look, I just want to point out something very interesting. Taiwan is only a tiny place, one province out of 25 and all these things. As of 2015, there are more issued US patents from Taiwan. The entire country, China, added together, at least for that year. I don't know, I cannot predict, maybe by 2020, China will say we are more than Taiwan. My point is, Taiwan is only as one tiny little province, one spot. I have ignored them to my detriment. Look, they file a lot into USA. Isn't it amazing? So let's look further over all these trends in USA. Now, keep in mind, I'm jumping, I'm being unfair to you. First PCT application, then national phase. Now, I forget about all the office section, all the non-final office section, final office section, RCE, I forget them all. I jump to the last point. Like in American football, it's a touchdown, the end zone. I'm getting the end zone. Continue. Now, what about SMEs? Who are the owners of these applications? Issue patents. Individuals is the largest group. Isn't it amazing? We thought the IBM, yes, IBM is number 2, but individuals, you, me, little people, make up the most of the issued US patent. So do not say that you are little. One, the tiniest fish, that's okay. Individuals. Samsung, Korea. Japan, USA, Japan, Toshiba, Sony, LG, Apple. Yeah, tiny. So when you compare with respect to the stock market, the value, Apple has less, but by far we all recognize. I'm not promoting, I'm not working for Apple, so just as a consumer, they have less issued patent, but the highest value as of today in the stock market. So what does it mean? More is not always the winner, but there's a trend. We need to see that. I want you to understand, pay attention. The individuals, that group, tiny little people, when you add them all together, there's a huge group. Let's continue. What about the Chinese SMEs? Those Chinese applicants that have successfully receive a USA granted application. Huawei, huge organization. ZTE, these are in Shenzhen. Of course, this is Shenzhen. BOE Technology in Beijing. Hongfujing Precision in Shenzhen. Individual too, they're the top with respect to applicant. Tsinghua University, very important university. There's another Huawei spin-off, Tencent, the QQ people, that's the Tencent. And another company from Shenzhen. I was in Shenzhen last week. I'm humbled. Shenzhen was a village, a fishing village, just outside of Hong Kong. About 25, 30 years ago, the mainland Chinese central government said, let's go to Shenzhen from scratch. The idea was to be next to Hong Kong, just in case there's something to learn from Hong Kong. So at that time, Hong Kong was, hey, I am the center of focus. China needs to learn from me. But today, Shenzhen is as advanced as Hong Kong, if not more, because Shenzhen is larger. My point of origin, Hong Kong, is tiny. It's restricted north, south, east, west. So there's a limited capacity. So it's a completely different game. Shenzhen is so advanced now. You and I have to work together to get into this type of business. It's not just me or just you. Together as a team, that is the most important thing. Very, very important opportunity out there. These are the mainland Chinese destiny. Let's continue. Taiwanese destiny. Taiwan Semiconductor, 1,700 issued US patent. Individuals again, more than 1,000. And Hong Hai, all these other companies. HTC, say 200 some. When I switch back to this, these are top filers in the PCT, but when it comes to, I know it's not a linear pathway. I'm jumping, I'm being unfair to you and for me. They're the 700. Taiwan Semiconductor, even more. Tiny place, having a gigantic success in obtaining US issue patent. What about India? You may think it's small, but watch out, I'll show you more. Individually on 100. So these are the companies from India. Dr. Reddy Laboratories and all this. These are your folks in your country having been successful in getting US patents. So make sure you know them, you're part of this pathway, this traffic. Let me continue. The technological area. I'm switching gear again. For all the US granted patents, many of them are in the drug bioaffecting compositions. So it's different than PCT. PCT is telecommunication computer, all right? So this is slightly different. Multiplex communication is number 3, telecom number 4, so slightly different than the PCT. This is in 1 year, 2015. So these are the numbers. These are the numbers of different technological. So we have to go to training, basic training. Basic is important for those who can get a master's degree, a PhD. I'm not into telecommunication, but a new colleague who is conversant. He worked with clients like Huawei and all these clients. So one day out of his pity, he said, David, let me show you how to talk, make some sense so that you won't talk stupid to a telecommunication client. So I'm learning. So even today, I'm learning. So we all need to learn together to latch onto some technological areas. Now these are I'm going to show you, these are the Chinese SMEs in terms of, with respect to technology. Again, the Huawei, the telecommunication is very heavy. Drug and bioaffecting is lower in this list. Okay? Taiwan, different. The solid state, they're the king in solid state. I'm going to go fast now since you have an idea. What about India? These are the technological areas. They are not small. These are not small numbers. I want to go back. In China, some are big, but the average are in the 200s. Taiwan's 200, 300, the top technological. India is not small at all. So don't say that, oh, we are smaller than China in terms, maybe in some way, but in reality, the applicant from India receiving the US issue patents is not small at all. Very, very respectable numbers. Maybe they're smaller companies, many more smaller rather than one giant, two giant, five giant. India is more even. Just take advantage of that, all right? So now I'm shifting. Having seen all these numbers, David, what are you up to? What do you want to say? We have to make a decision. Do we just say all this thing, PCT, international stage, PCT national phase, and all these things, we say, wow. So that's all. No, I don't want you to just sit there. I want you to be actively finding opportunity to get into this flow. Smart solution. Can we find something? In other words, we no longer just sit here. Yes, you are sitting here. But I would like you to invite you to join with me, everybody on the panel, to have an active mind. Let's create opportunity for us. Don't wait for people. So there's a saying in China, when you go to the cliff and see all the fishes in the pond, wow, many fishes. Instead of doing that, you better start making your net to catch the fishes. All right? So I invite you because I need to do the same thing. Instead of just saying, wow, this is overwhelming. Each one of us, because we are very special in the eyes of God. We're very special, each one of us. There's no duplication. Each one is special. So join forces together. Let me go back. So the source of invention, Mr. Bush already talked about companies, large, medium, small, university, research institute, individuals. Tailor-make your practice so that everybody is welcome. I worked in such a law firm previously. They go with the Samsung and big ones. They try to make the smaller companies or individuals to feel welcome. Yes, I can see the people. So it's tricky, we can do it. Remember these two? Make use of this information. We can go within the country, USA into USA, China, invention into China, India or Taiwan, or maybe within the same region, Asian region. Try to capture each inventor, each company, each client is slightly different. We have to know their needs. Where do they want to go? Or worldwide, by knowing this chart to know where things are. So from the perspective of the applicants, before we file an application in a certain country, I want you to expand your horizon. Think of, at least on the internet, go right into Google Map, look into Washington, D.C., cross the barrier. Google allows us, even on a little iPhone, the map can just jump. So at times, I jump to China, to Beijing, as a visitor, but also my concept. I want to be inspired by the magnificent country. India is a huge country. Lots of opportunity here. So what is the market potential? Who are the technological competitors? Can this technology, this invention be sold? Is it possible to license technology in this country? What is the quality of the attorneys? Don't walk in and just, I have a friend. Friend is a friend, good. Make sure that your attorney is a good person. What is the average cost? Is there a need for translation? So what does it mean? A PCT international stage application has to be, if it is in English, I don't need to pay an extra fee to come to India, but I have to pay extra fee to Korea, China, Japan. What does it mean? That means we don't say things too long. Keep our story tight. Don't give a 50-page review of a technology. It's not necessary. Get to the point. Maybe 2 pages at most. Get to the point. So it helps. My client complained, I'm paying duplicated, he's from India, actually he's a US client. He said, David, can we skip this his translation? I'm so sorry, there's no such thing. I did not write his invention, but very practical things we need to watch out. Okay, all right, let's continue. From the perspective of the applicant, my previous colleague already said, the critical innovation, aim at that. Choose quality rather than quantity. Less is more. There's a saying, less is more, meaning focus rather than to, I want to go 5. So currently, the concept of our Chinese friends who file many applications to get more subsidy itself, it doesn't make sense. Thank God they can do that, the money, but we don't need to follow this. Focus, be individual, know what you are doing, okay? Invest in quality research, build up from the foundation, support higher education. It's a long time. Encourage creativity, seek grant and investment company, and search for collaboration. All right, so as an applicant, who should be your attorneys? If you're already an attorney in the legal business, how should we behave? What kind of people should we be? Should we just be doing something simple on the surface and done? Or we are people who are willing to listen, who are willing to solve problems for the client? So you have your attorney should have a global perspective. What does it mean? Each one of us can have the same view. I'm reminding you 5 times already. Let's have a global perspective. Willing to work with inventors enthusiastically, effectively. Overcome all the barrier. What's a barrier? Language, time zone, culture, communication style. I have to stay up, I've already told people, 11 p.m., 12 midnight, so that I can call somebody, so that I can in China and talk for an hour. Oh, I said, don't worry. I have a very, very simple phone. Don't worry about the bill. I'll take care of it. Can you do that? Are you willing to reach out to the U.S. counterparts or inspire your U.S. counterparts to communicate with you in an effective way? WeChat, WhatsApp, for those Indian folks love that. I'm already on. So these are very important communication skills. Low budget law firms are okay, but sometimes they can provide nothing but minimum. They just paper push and click, file. We don't need that. What about a high budget law firm, expensive law firms? They're fine, but if they produce only a high bill, do we want them? You make a choice. From the perspective of an attorney, we have to find out an opportunity to offer our legal skills. I'm pretending most of you are from Ahmedabad area, legal professionals. What should we do? Having a right attitude. What does it mean? Serving the needs of the client, offering meaningful strategy. I was in Hong Kong 2 weeks ago. I was meeting with some friends from my high school days. I thought it was just a courtesy call. Hey, how are you doing? And suddenly, instead of a half an hour courtesy call, it became a 4-hour meeting. The boss for that group canceled his dinner plan because he said, David, thank you for coming over because you have given us strategy that no one has given them. I'm glad to be there at a timely fashion. So we practitioners must have that perspective, to be willing to give a meaningful strategy, provide value-added, cost-effective services. Almost sometimes freebie. That's okay. Don't worry about it. So that we become the go-to people. If people are afraid, if our clients are afraid to call us, we somehow have failed. I'm not saying that we should do free service, freebie 24 hours a day. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't be nitty-gritty and send people a bill that they don't like. You and I must have an open door policy so that they want to come to us, all right? Communicate responsibly in timing with an ethical standard. Don't have under the table. We're out of this. We don't need to discuss. It has to be ethical standard. All right, so I will go quickly because of time. Prepare patent application rather than a publication, I want to say. A scientific publication is different. A lot of times, scientists in USA at least will give attorneys their scientific application, journal manuscript. We have to adjust that, or else by filing this as is will get us nowhere. So we, the practitioner, must remind our client, yes, give us the data. 2 years ago, I was given just basically 8 diagrams. I said, David, why don't you write an application from scratch? Nothing but just 8 diagrams of cells, cancer cell dying. At times we have to deal with that. But whatever we receive, the more writing, the better. So work with our inventors. Write in simple language. I've been told to write in 5th grade English. 5th grade. Not 7th grade, not 12th grade. 5th grade. Why? So that our counterpart from Japan, from China, the attorneys can understand. We do not become somehow a threat. I know because I'm a foreigner. Still in USA, I'm a foreigner. When people are friendly to me, people such as Kevin Wilson, these people, we met on the bus, I can talk more. The more, because I know that these are friendly people. But if they're intimidating to me, I don't even know how to say it. After many years in USA, I stutter. So help our clients to be relaxing and communicate with us. Very simple English. So that way we can communicate with our clients. We have to communicate with our examiners. And there's a cost for the translator. In one case in Japan, I think the translation somehow botched. The examiner botched. The Japanese attorney botched. We have to give up. So there's something to do with the translation. Maybe we use a cheaper translator, not the law firm translator. So we receive the consequence. We save a few $100. Okay, so don't commit the same error. All right. Let's learn together, last but not least. This is a beautiful place. I'm reminded of a song that I learned when I was in elementary school. This is my father's world. In other words, from that perspective, India is part of my father's God heaven. Everybody, I'm part of you. I'm both Chinese and American. All right? Let's work together as a team. Really united in heart, with mutual appreciation. Let's become special friends at this conference. Work together. And for those of you who will come to Washington, D.C., next time we need to shake hands 10 times, all right? Washington, D.C. So thank you for your attention. That's all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ho, for such an outstanding presentation. As a gesture of thanks, we request Shri S. Chandrasekharan to present the mementos and certificates to our speakers, Mr. Kevin Murphy, and to Mr. Wilson Pinheiro Jabur, and Mr. Padmeen Booch. And Dr. David Ho. Thank you very much, sir. We extend our gratitude to all our distinguished speakers for giving such excellent presentations. Ladies